Hey everyone, welcome to the Everyday Human podcast. My name is Easton Taverna. Each day I'll share a reflection written by me and inspired by literature, poetry, music, movies, video games, and more. And after that, I'll share a prompt for you to write your own reflection. Together, we'll explore what it means to be human. Every month, we'll walk a new path, taking a look at life, death, the universe, and everything in between. Thanks for coming along. I'm glad you're here. For more, visit eastontaverna.com or join me on Instagram at _everydayhuman. Billions of moments. That is the title for today's reflection. And this one was inspired by a quote from one of my favorite books. I know, I have so many favorite books. But this is definitely up there, and I probably reread it once a year, once every 2 years. Since I first read it back in 2008, 2009 maybe. And that is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I don't remember if I've mentioned this before. I know we've had, let's see, how many reflections inspired by McCarthy so far. We had one on June 17th. That was inspired by a quote from All the Pretty Horses. And yeah, that's it. I think I mentioned him on March 29th. Yes, I did, but that was not inspired by that quote from Blood Meridian. I only referenced that. That one was inspired by the song The Green Fields of France by Eric Bogle. Okay, so yeah, this is the first reflection inspired by a quote from The Road. I think I have another coming up. But yes, I absolutely love this book. It is stark and bleak and violent in some parts, yes. It's a post-apocalyptic tale, but it is a work of art, a masterpiece of literature. It won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 2007, and it was turned into a movie starring Viggo Mortensen back in 2009, I believe, which was very good, but, as usual, not as good as the book. But yeah, I have an old beat-up copy that I revisit. I'll just open it and read passages here and there, just because. And I have mentioned, I believe before, about the post-apocalyptic genre of fiction, in that I adore it. I write it myself in my book, The Runner, or Dead World, the original title, a post-apocalyptic tale, and my comic Mother, a post-apocalyptic tale. And they can be scary. Like I said, they can be bleak and dark, but when they're done right, they give you hope for the future. And I think that is the point. It puts humans in some of the most difficult positions you could find them in. A lot of them are made up and fantasy, some very realistic that could happen. And what I like to do, at least with my characters when they're in these positions, is show their resilience, their perseverance, their courage, their empathy. Show that they won't lose their humanity in these inhuman situations. And The Road does a wonderful job of that. It's a story of a father and son traversing a post-apocalyptic landscape, looking to get to the coast in the hopes of finding better conditions to live. I'll leave it at that. It is a quick read. If you haven't read it, I suggest picking it up and giving it a try. All right, here is the quote that inspired today's reflection. He shifted the pack higher on his shoulders and looked out over the wasted country. The road was empty. Below in the little valley, the still gray serpentine of a river, motionless and precise. Along the shore, a burden of dead reeds. "Are you okay?" he said. The boy nodded. Then they set out along the blacktop in the gunmetal light, shuffling through the ash. Each the other's world entire. It's that last phrase that just gets me every time. Each the other's world entire. Okay, and here is my reflection. It is said you come into this world alone, and that you die alone. There is a technical truth to that. You experienced your own birth, your own entry into reality as a single individual. And when it's your time, you'll leave, experiencing what it is to die. Though you may be surrounded by loved ones if you're lucky, and though someone may be holding your hand if you're lucky, It will be you alone leaving this world for whatever comes next. If we think back to March's On Death section, we know this can be frightening to some, and maybe even a little exciting to others, to think of it as an adventure. But here's a comforting thought if you fall into the more frightened category. Out of a whole life of moments, about 2.5 billion if you count each second as a moment and live to 80, birth and death only make up for 2, give or take a few. Granted, they are 2 very important ones. That leaves a whole lot of space in between. And in those in-between moments, you'll of course find joy and sorrow, pain and pleasure, loss and gain, and every blend and nuance of these emotions and experiences. You'll have high highs and low lows, and that's all well and good. But the one thing, if you're lucky enough to find it, that can make those moments truly special is experiencing them with another. That person you love unconditionally and who unconditionally loves you, whoever it might be, your world entire. Now, I understand that some people have set out searching for this and feel they haven't found it. I understand some people feel they have had it and lost it. It's a complicated thing, no doubt about it. What isn't in life? I guess what I want to say is that if you've had it and lost it, I'm glad you had it for however long. If you have it, I hope you hold on to it. And if you're searching for it, I hope you find it. Or, if you're okay with being alone and you find happiness and contentment in yourself and in nature, that's fine too. I hope you find joy and peace in more than just a few of those billions of moments between birth and death. And there ends today's reflection. So now it is time for you to reflect in your journal or on your napkin or while you're looking out the window. Ask yourself the following. Who is my world entire? Who am I living out my moments with that makes it all worth it? That's it for today, July 30th. I'll be back tomorrow, July 31st, the end of the month, with another reflection. Have a good one and take care.